Alright, so we juicing. It's January 2nd today, Tuesday. And for the first 7 days, me and my lady, we juicing, we cleansing. Yesterday was rough. Was very hungry, but today is much better. I feel like after the second, third day, you're good. It's not that bad. Your body's just craving like vitamins and minerals, nutrients. So that's all juicing. A cleanse is just vitamins and minerals. You're basically not eating, but just having vitamins and minerals. Anyway, so we already made some juices. I'll take you out there right now. So this one is just fruit. This is like citrus, like a lot of orange and mandarins. And that one, this was carrots, celeries, and apples. In the back, we got watermelon juice just for taste. This is my favorite, and this is the one we're making right now. This is pineapples, beets, cucumbers, and ginger. I know it looked nasty, you know what I'm saying? It's all separated, but all you do is shake it up and then you're good to go. So like I said before, making beets, pineapples, cucumbers, and ginger. Pineapple, great for digesting protein, one, but two, it helps with the flavor. It's very sweet. And then also you can ask your mama what pineapple might be good for. Got gingers, great for your lungs, great for digestion as well. Very, very, very healthy root right there. We got cucumber, a lot of vitamins and minerals. I was just explaining to my boys, like, this is such an awkward vegetable or fruit or whatever you want to call it to carry across the grocery store. I'd much rather the cart be right by me and I just grab it and put it in real quick, nobody see, versus walking across the grocery store like that. So cucumber, and then beetroot, great for nitric oxide, of course. I've been calling this drink, this juice, the bedroom paradise. If you know, you know. Nitric oxide, good for the blood flow, and all these other things. It's the bedroom paradise to drink right here. It's my favorite one for sure. So how I go about this process: clean everything off, chop everything up, and then just juice it all at once. I'll take you through the process and you can enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? All right, this is my last joke about the cucumber, all right? But look how you rinse this thing off, you know what I'm saying? You got to really scrub it. Hey, don't this look like a heart?
Definitely.
So what you think is good for it?
The heart.
Your heart?
What
You
is
feel
that?
me? A beat. Makes it plum, for sure. Get that dirt up off of there. Nah, ginger and beet tend to be the hardest to go through to a juicer. So it's good to make them as small as you can. See how that just look like blood? Man. That's a good one right there. A lot of times people will be on like the beetroot powders and things like that, and I've had some, and you can definitely like feel the difference with that kind of supplement, like that kind of nitric oxide supplement. Like you feel the pump. However, you just gotta be careful where you're getting it from, because a lot of times a wise man once told me that by the time they're processing the beets and things like that, it's already like a dead fruit. It's already like you're not getting the same benefits as, you know what I'm saying, a raw, fresh beet. So if I had it my way, I would just tell you to go ahead and juice your own beets. You definitely will feel it. Like today I worked out, and I haven't worked out in a while, and usually if you don't work out after so long, it's hard to get a pump in the sense of it feeling good. It usually just like hurts, but because I've like drank a lot of beets recently, it felt like a great pump. It's a good one. So for New Year's, I went to Big Bear up in California, a little further up I think it might be east of LA. Anyways, went to Big Bear, and funny story, it was a great trip, fantastic trip, but I took an electric car to get there. More so because I thought it'd be just fun to drive an electric car. It's very fun to drive an electric car. However, I just didn't think of the whole charging situation, once I get there. So got there real late, actually, probably about like 9, 10 o'clock. And I was tired already just from driving and just planning and doing what I got to do before I leave for the trip. So I was just like, I'm ready to go bowl. But my lady, she was just like, nah, like we should go charge the car and leave it on the charger and then go bowl. And I'm like, nah, like it's cool, we just do it in the morning. So we ended up bowling, or we just chilled at the bowling alley, had some wings, some pizza, a few drinks, and then headed to the hotel for the night. And keep in mind, when I say the battery was low, we probably had like 13% once we got there, so it was bad. So we went to the hotel. Next morning we were just gonna go and charge it. Long story short, everybody with an electric car needed to charge their car. So I had that downloaded this app that would tell me when it was available, and a charger was available. And a charger was available for, I say, 5 minutes, and we were 2 minutes away. By the time we got there, somebody was already pulling in, so that screwed us up. And then we ended up saying forget it. Last episode, if you go and watch, I said something about casting your burden, basically meaning when something bad is happening, just instead of stressing over it, making matters worse, just whatever. Okay, so we was like, you know what, let's just go have a good time. We'll figure this out. So we went snowboarding, by the way. My first time snowboarding ever, very fun. And then after that, we ended up, it was a little bit later after that, so then we ended up, and it was New Year's Eve as well. Well, I'm tripping, that is not going there. Jordan cannot multitask. It was New Year's Eve, and we ended up finding a place to charge, and it ended up charging really fast. We just had to sit there for maybe like an hour. So we just brought the iPad, watched a movie, charged it, and then hit the bowling alley again. The first night we went, we didn't get to bowl because it was too busy. But New Year's Eve, we got to bowl, countdown. They was handing out champagne as they were counting down. So it was fun. It was a good time. But for your sake, if you're going to go on a trip and you're going to take an electric car, I mean, I'm sure people do this already, planning out the charging stations versus just winging it like I did. So for all in all, fun trip. Just bad job by me by not listening. Listen to your ladies, man. They know what they talking about. Men are logical, but women are smart, right? So oftentimes we'll get into a little back and forth, and I'll be like, look, tell me what you want, and then I'll give you direction. And that's how we solve stuff sometimes. So yeah, man. Now we got the pineapple. After the pineapple, got this thing going down. Pop it all in the juicer. And yeah, enjoy this thing. Alright, so reasons for a cleanse. Now, a lot of times when I tell people, like yesterday, we went to the mall and we were getting a few things, and the lady at the register, we told her we were doing a cleanse. She was just like, why would you do that? There's other ways to be healthy. Absolutely. Now, I'm only saying this from experience, okay? The first time I did a cleanse, my mental clarity was intense. Because you don't realize how much energy you're pulling from your body just by digesting food. That's one. 2, your system is clean, so it just functions a lot better. A lot of times I explain to people that when you're trying to get in shape or lose weight, you don't need to necessarily, the sole purpose of eating clean is so your body can be clean and function properly, because once your body can function the way it needs to function, it'll take care of what it needs to take care of. Your body is not made to be fat, so it's going to fight that fat off. You just need to give it a clean system to do so. Same thing if you get a cut, your body's going to fix that cut on its own. So it's just to clean out our systems. But also, it's kind of like I've been having this lingering cold for like months, bro. I'm talking like October maybe. Like just this lingering cough. If I exercise too rough, I'll start coughing. If I eat too much junk food, I'll start coughing. It's been on and off for a while now, so that's another reason to start this cleanse. And then also just starting the year off with a challenge, like not eating for 7 days straight is a challenge. So yeah, this is the start and setting the tone for the year, and we're gonna get to juicing, man. That's a nice, beautiful bowl of fruit. Let's do this. It's gonna get messy, I'm gonna tell you that. I lost the cover to my thing, so it is what it is though. Let's do it. We're gonna do this. It's a lot of pineapple. So I like to mix it, a little bit of juicier fruits, and then the harder things right behind it, so the liquids from the juice can flush down the harder things. Pro tip right there. Pro tip, you heard it here first, Real Jordan. Let's do it. Oh, tripping. Look at that. Magic. I messed up. Magic right there, player. I should get that tattooed on me. Nutritiously delicious. Inner thigh. Is that cursive? Oh shit. So we're gonna store these with the rest. Probably have this one later. We got plenty of juice though, as you guys see. And then we even got a few like fruit. We got like berries. I'm sure we'll eat. So it's kind of like juice, and then I guess juice and fruit cleanse as well. But besides that, I forgot to show y'all, like I said, the little jars for ginger shots. You can find these on Amazon. Just look up like glass bottles, reusable bottles. Yeah, man. So that's the juice. Like I said, 7-day cleanse. Today is day 2. And yeah, it's easy. It's easy. After about, I say, day 3, maybe day 4, we're going to take some of this, psyllium husk fiber. If you want more information on that and why, shoot me a DM. It's good for your gut, cleaning you out. And then even some of these Cascara Sagrada capsules, good for, like I said, digestion, cleaning out your system. And if you're interested in following the cleanse as well, or doing the cleanse, I do put clients on cleanse pretty often. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we can do that. Besides that, thank you for tuning in. Next, I got a workout with you for. Let me do that. We ain't gonna cut this on. We got a workout on Thursday morning, legs, core, maybe a little bit of cardio. Leg day. I don't like leg days right now because my stamina ain't up in these things, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna get it done. So enjoy that one. Enjoy the sit down. I'll talk with y'all later. Peace. Yo, good morning. It's 6 now. Just got done with push-ups and pull-ups. 5 sets, 10 pull-ups, 20 push-ups. Now we got bench press, then we're gonna smack some dips, and then we're gonna smack some incline dumbbell. It's not much weights, not many machines. So to make the most out of each workout, it's best to just go to failure. Now go to failure doesn't mean as many as you can until you cripple. So failure means as many as you can with good form, as many as you can under control, as many as you can. Not necessarily full reps, but full quality reps. Once you start falling apart, rock the weight, rest, hit your next set. So I probably hit like 3 sets of bench. Well, I hit my first warm-up set, then 3 working sets till failure. Hit dips till failure. about 3 sets of that. So that way, when I get to the dumbbells that only go up to 50, they're a bit heavier. Besides that, the reason, which is key, behind the pull-ups before you bench, and it can be pull-ups, it can be rows, it can be reverse flies, whatever it may be, is because open your chest up and warm up your back muscles. Very crucial for when you're benching. So when you get to this point at the bottom of the bench, it doesn't feel like you're finally opening this up and stretching when you already got weight on the bar. So a lot of times the dudes get tears and things like that. I've never had a shoulder injury, but every time I bench, I'm doing a back exercise as well. It's balanced. I don't believe in like whole society, everything is all curved and caved in. I mean, yeah, we can notice a difference in our posture as like society, but like all in all, this is not the reasoning. Just go to the gym, do a couple back exercises, you'll be good. Let's get this workout in, and talk to y'all later. Okay, so workout, that was a good one. That was probably the most good felt workout I had in a minute. I don't know. I think it's because I've been very much more consistent than, like I said in the previous episode, the whole thing with me moving has made it hard to be consistent with training. So I think it's been more consistent. And if you notice, when you don't work out very consistently, and you finally do work out, it's not a good pump, it more so hurts, but now I'm getting a good pump, so that was a great pump. And then even on the juice cleanse, I'm still able to get a pump. Now, I will say energy levels on the cleanse when it comes to working out, I'm hitting the weight that I usually hit, and I'm struggling to get those reps. Still able to, but I do think that comes from like just the years of training, but it's still like energy levels are low. So that's like another mental barrier that I had to push past today. Simple fact of like, I could just kind of half-ass it. Oh, I'm on a cleanse, let me get through the workout. But no, I still come in and to deliver. Something that crossed my mind while I was training to share with you guys is that, you know, have a certain mentality or a certain thought in mind when you're going to train to up the intensity. I mean, you don't have to, but it helps. So, for example, when I used to play ball, I would go ape shit with the workout because I knew I had a game the upcoming Saturday, so I need to be prepared. So, but now since I'm not playing ball, you can ask it, and this may be applied to you as well, like, what are you necessarily working out so hard for? What do you have to go so hard for? Why do you have to get locked in? Well, personally, it's kind of like, and this is actually how like my dad kind of taught me this and how I was brought up, but it's kind of like, let's say we weren't civilized, right? And we went to go hunt for food, and we had to go, you know, get ourselves ready to go out in the freaking wild where things are hunting for us and we're hunting for things. You got to get yourself mentally prepared for that, and you have to do the killing and the hunting with a certain type of aggression. Now, modern day, because we are civilized, what that looks like is you got to go to work and you got to show up for your job and you got to perform your absolute best so you can bring back money to your family so you can feed your family. Different, same, whatever. But when you're sitting at a desk or you're talking to your clients or whatever, you're not expressing that aggression. So when you go into your workout, still have that concept in mind of like, I gotta get better, I gotta push myself, I gotta do this for my fam or so I can deliver, but get that aggression out as well, especially to my men and my boys. So it's a good way to just get your mind right, quote unquote. So it was a great workout. Energy levels were low in the sense of how far I could push myself because of the cleanse, but the cleanse is going well. The cleanse is going incredible. So I'm gonna talk about today the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. We'll get into that a bit more in a second, but to note, Napoleon Hill, I think he's most famous for probably Think and Grow Rich. Very popular book. I've read it. I've not completed it because that book is thick and a lot of information, so salute to those that did, but I'm gonna definitely circle back on that one. But just reading what I've read, so knowledgeable, so powerful. So reading Outwitting the Devil, which I heard from by Bejo Schoolier, it's kind of like, yo, this is some gold in this book. Apparently, I could be wrong, I think the book was banned for a second, and then, they finally approved of it. But once you hear about it and I go in depth about it, you'll hear why and understand why. But we'll get into that in a second. So circling back to the cleanse, this is day 4, I believe January 4th. Yeah, it's day 4. Where we at? Man, yesterday I was hungry. Yesterday I was irritable. Yesterday I was impatient. I'm hungry. But now it's towards the back end of the cleanse. I had psyllium husk yesterday. I had some Cascara Sagrada. I had a little bit of aloe vera juice yesterday. This is like the final flush. Not TMI, but TMI, I'm going to the bathroom. It looks different now because you're cleansing. So this is what you should expect, and this is what we're doing it for, to clean you out. So like I said in the last few clips are back, if you're interested, shoot me a DM. We can go through this cleanse together. I help you through it, through the whole thing. It's 4 days if it's your first time. If it's not your first time, we'll push and go a little harder. So we got some grocery shopping to do, tomorrow, to get ready for the weekend. We're gonna start progressively eating, so we don't just come kill our stomach again with a lot of food. It'll screw everything up. So we're gonna do a little bit of grocery shopping, progressively eat again, and then we're back on a meal plan. Chicken and rice, beef and broccoli, the whole gym bro meal plan, because through this process, and this is one thing I do not like. I've lost, I would say in the last month and a half, I've lost almost 20 pounds. First, it was because I was moving, just that whole transition. And then it turned into me cleansing. And then the cleanse, the other day I stepped on the scale and I had lost another 5 pounds, and I was like, golly, but it's kind of like, how am I setting myself up, okay? How am I setting myself up to move forward? Sometimes you do have to take 2 steps back to take a step forward. 1 step back, 2 steps forward. So I could be bummed out about it and dwell on that and let that soak up my mind, but it's like, what's really going on? I'm cleaning my system out so I can actually perform and propel forward and shoot past my goals. So I don't like being this light. Some do, and that's fine. But I cannot wait to just bash some food, get my size back, and just kill it. So I'm very excited to start meal prepping next week. Besides that, man, training is still consistent. I was just talking to my boy D about how definitely implementing more cardio. I can definitely tell a difference between when I was training 2 times a day, hitting core cardio and lifting, versus on and off with the lifting and cardio. It's just my cardiovascular and breathing. So definitely excited to just get back on my horse. But for now, it's kind of like steady pace. How I was saying before, though, I could dwell on the simple fact of me losing weight and being lighter and let that soak my mind and see that as a failure or see that as a loss. But that'll cause drifting away from what's important. That'll cause drifting away from the main focus. What's the focus? What's the goal? So I listed my goals, actually, my notebook's right here. By February, midway through February, I want to be back at 195, and I want my body fat percentage to be 9%. I'll share everything with you guys, so I'm going to go get a BMI test, see where I'm at. So for me to put on 20 pounds and have 9% body fat in a month is how? What the hell? But the thing is, when it comes to muscle memory, when you lose muscle, you lose size, or you lose strength, what tends to happen is, because of muscle memory, you gain that weight and you gain that size and you gain that strength back very fast. So it's more so about designing a game plan than executing. You will come across failures and distractions and things that will have you look this and that way along the way. We call that drifting. In the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, he calls that drifting. Drifting is like you have a main focus, you have a priority, you have a goal, but you get distracted by girls, or you get distracted by food, or you get distracted by whatever it may be that causes you to drift. Okay, you have so much capacity in your brain. Your brain is the most incredible machine on the planet, and you can fill this machine up with whatever information you want. So let's say somebody completely dedicated their brain to family, their career, and that was it. Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? And you see what the outcome of that is. So there's too many times and too often where people will have a goal, they'll have a plan, they'll have all these things that they need to have, but then they feel that they have like droplets of distractions or droplets of things that don't acquire to the end all be all goal. And what that causes is the drift. Okay, so let's circle into the book, Outwitting the Devil. Actually, I have my notes here. So I listened to the audiobook. Now, if you're interested in this book, Outwitting the Devil, if you get the book, fantastic. I recommend you listen to it. If you're gonna read, listen to it as you read, because reading it, so it's an interview between, I believe it's Napoleon Hill and quote unquote the devil. And he's just asking them questions. Why this? Why that? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? But when you hear the audio and you hear the tone of the voice of the quote unquote devil, it's kind of like, it adds a little oomph to it. So back to the drifting tip, I'll share some notes that I have, but more importantly, after that, we'll circle to some of the 10 ways he gave us to avoid drifting and avoid getting distracted and things of such. So let's get here. A drifter is one who doesn't think for themselves. Those who fall into habit of falling comfortable in their own mind versus challenging and solving problems. A lot of times we'll come across a problem, say I broke my hand, or say I got fired, or say it can be all things, and I'll share my own personal experience in a second, but we'll come across failures. We have to understand that this is life. This is, like I had in the previous episode, this is the game of life. There are things that are going to happen to you. You can't avoid that part. Where people mess up is, and this is where the quote unquote devil lures you in, is letting these distractions or letting these failures consume you way too much. So let's check this out. So you need to learn to use your own mind, think for yourself versus using the minds of others to influence your decisions. Your intuition is valuable, so use it. When it comes to failing, when it comes to getting distracted, we'll ask others for opinion, we'll ask others for direction. You have an intuition, you have a gut. It's very valuable. You need to use it. It'll give you clear as day guidance. Similar to last episode, there's obey. You do right, you get right. You do wrong, you do wrong. You know right or wrong, deliver as needed. Now, when it comes to failure, you have to understand that, and this is another thing, I noted that every true philosopher knows every failure brings it with a seed of an equivalent success. But you'll get so caught up in the failure that you stop progressing. Okay, so let's break this down. We'll use the break the arm example, okay? Say you're a professional athlete, okay? And you're playing your sport, you're playing football. You break your arm. It's your last year before you get drafted. You break your arm, and because you broke your arm and it was your last season, you just sat on the couch. You were bummed out. You were so soaked in it being your last season of college before you could get drafted that you let yourself go. You dwelled on the quote unquote failure so hard that you quit progressing. On the other hand, no pun intended, because you broke your arm. On the other hand, you break your arm and you do everything you can do without using your arm just to implement now your left-handed, one-handed Odell catch is crazy because you didn't stop training that one. So now you're getting drafted. It's a matter of what's the end-all be-all goal. And what tends to happen most is right before you scratch, right before you touch exactly what you want, it'll be the biggest failure, smack in the face you'll ever expect, you'll ever receive, just to lure you away, just to distract you, just to get you to drift off of what you're doing. So in the book, Outwitting the Devil, he'll explain to you that that's the devil trying to lure you in. And they'll even say, like, right before you hit that point, it'll be the biggest smack in the face. But stay focused, stay the course, do not drift away, get the job done. And even after you fail, check this out. While you are down, after you have hit a failure, when you find yourself at your lowest, it's most important that you stick to your morals and principles, because this is when drifting is most likely to occur. This is when you're most influenced to follow misfortunes, submit to fear, and are held down. Once you submit to fear, meaning, like I said before, you have this brain filled with so many things. Once you submit to fear, it's almost as if your faith is done. Now, why faith is important because, and it doesn't have to be faith in religion. It does not have to be faith in God. It doesn't have to be faith in any of that. But why faith is important is because you have to have something to believe in. You can believe in yourself. You can believe in your dream. You can believe in your vision. You can believe in anything. But the moment fear comes, you can't accomplish something without actually believing in it. I don't even think you can pursue something to your full extent if you don't truly believe in it. So if you fill your brain with fear instead, it's taken away from the faith, it's taken away from the faith, and slowly it's just too much fear going on to where you're behaving off of that matter. So be cautious of when that failure hits you and staying out of that low space. Last episode, valuable, casting the burden or something. When there's a failure that does occur, push it. Don't dwell on it. Process it, learn from it, like literally study it and figure out, why did this happen? Why did I just break my arm before this? Because there's a reason. There's a reason behind it, because you need to slow down maybe. A lot of times these things happen is because you're going so hard that you need to slow down, reevaluate, then go again. Okay? So, but do not dwell way too long. So we can keep going on and on about this drifting, but the overall concept of the drifting and getting distracted and letting these failures take you away from the important goal, you just don't dwell on it too long, one, and two, it's bound to happen. You need to know how to react and how to respond when it does. You need to know how to evaluate the situation, but more importantly, you need to know how to prep yourself and build yourself so when these things do happen, you won't even think twice about it and keep pushing forward. This just brings me to my next point of the 10 things that it wasn't even Napoleon Hill gave us. It was Napoleon Hill asked the devil, okay, give me some advice on how to avoid this drifting. And the quote-unquote devil just straight up listed 10 ways to avoid drifting. And that's what we're going to go over today. Every single one of these is just valuable. Take a sip of this coconut water. This is not a sponsor. However, I just posted on my Instagram on how if I could, that's a tongue twister. If I could cut a coconut every day for the sake of the juice, I would, but that's a lot of work. So we just get coconut water, electrolytes. While you're doing the cleanse, you just liquids every single, it's important that you get these electrolytes and these vitamins and noodles and things of such. It doesn't have to be coconut water. You can get an electrolyte supplement. This is where I need a sponsorship, matter of fact, to where I can just be like, I'm not even gonna say their name. Come on. Okay, so 10 ways to avoid the drifting that lures you into failure, that lures you into fear, that lures you into not achieving what you want. These are 10 things to avoid. These are 10 things that will help you avoid drifting or getting distracted. So, one, very straightforward, do your own thinking on all occasions. This kind of ties back to what I said a moment ago on how you have to think for yourself. A lot of times we'll look upon others to think for us, and we already know deep down, the truth than the answer and what we need to do, but we'll ask somebody else. Prime example, me and my boys talk sometimes and we'll be like, oh, yeah, hey, yo, you think I should call such and such and go hang out with her? And the homie will be like, now you know you shouldn't, but you just calling and asking me so I can say no. Like, why? So, but I already knew the answer in my gut. Listen to that. It's there for a reason. That is guidance. That is your smartest, most high, has the best interest in for yourself there is. Nobody else has a better interest in you in this world than that gut intuition feeling. Learn to use that. Learn to trust that. You will not get it right every single time in the beginning. But as you learn to listen and trust that and process things and challenge yourself to develop your thinking, you will start to get it right more and more and more. It's like studying almost, right? So that's one. Do your own thinking on all occasions, no exceptions. Because if your brain only has this much capacity and you have like a little corner that's, I'm not going to think for myself on this one, that one will expose you on all occasions, my friend. Number 2. Decide definitely what you want for life, develop a plan, and be willing to sacrifice everything else if necessary rather than accepting defeat. You have to be cautious of this one because when it says sacrifice everything else if necessary rather than accepting defeat, know what matters to you, okay? So say your goal is to, I don't know, ride a bike for 100 miles. Done that, which is freaking awesome. It's fun. Okay, so say that's my goal. What's important to me, okay, is achieving this goal, but then there's other things in this life that are important to me that I have to abide to as well. So you'll have a goal, right? You have something that you're focused on. However, you have other things around you. So watch out for what you're sacrificing to get this goal, but if you're conscious enough and you're understanding what distractions are like, I don't even need to pay this any attention. I don't need to pay that attention. I don't need to pay attention to Instagram right now. I don't need to pay attention to going to the Lakers game right now. I can sacrifice those. But if it's like, okay, I'm sacrificing my sleep because I'm just up training too much, that's not something you want to sacrifice. But, however, you do need to be willing to sacrifice. A lot of things are going to come to distract you, drift you. You can sacrifice that. You don't need that. With every success, in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, as far as I've seen, it doesn't matter what it is. At some point in the road, you're going to have to say, I got to let that one go, and we're going to have to keep pushing forward. It's bound to happen. So have exactly what you want, a plan, and be willing to sacrifice, and do not accept defeat at any moment. There will be times where you feel defeated, but you don't have to accept defeat right there. That's a clip. Number 3, analyze temporary defeat, no matter the cause, and extract the seed of a similar advantage. This is what I just touched on. Temporary defeat. You will feel defeated. You will feel down. High school, junior year, broke my leg. I cried, bro. I cried because it was like I trained so hard to a certain extent to where it was like, I broke my leg? Are you serious? My dad was like, wiggle your toes. And I could not wiggle my toes. Actually, funny story, like I went to school with it wrapped in a bandage for like 2 days straight because I'm like, it's not broken. Like I just sprained it. And then after 2 days, I'm like, I still can't feel my toes. Matter of fact, they changing colors. Let's go to the hospital. So, but I ended up playing JUCO ball. Like that, I could have been like, I broke my leg. F all of this. It's over. I accept defeat. But instead, it was like, no, you want to keep playing ball? Well, do what you got to do. Hit the therapy, hit the rehab, your own situation. Get through the process, get through the hard time, evaluate, then get back on your shit. Go back for the goal, man. So, and then important, the second part of the sentence is very important. Extract the seed of similar advantage. Like I said earlier, with every failure, there's an equivalent success. But you can get so caught up in the defeat that you miss it. That's key. Cast the burden of defeat. Cast the burden of failure. Push it elsewhere. Give it to somebody else to have to deal with. That's not your problem. It's not our job to worry. It's just our job to execute. So give that elsewhere and extract the seed of a similar advantage. There's balance in life. You're not just going to lose, because when you do, there's an advantage and there's a win up here waiting on you. But you do have to do what you got to do to get that. So, hey, low lows come with high highs, my friend, for sure. Number 4, be willing to render useful service that is equivalent to all things you want in life. And this is my favorite part. And be willing to provide the service first. I've done great for myself with personal training. I've done fantastic for myself with personal training. When I first started, it was not like that. But because I was such a man of service, I was so willing to just do it. I was driving, during the time it was COVID, so there wasn't much traffic. So think about this. There was not much traffic out in LA, but it was still a 30 or 40 minute drive. That just means it was far. So I would make that drive there and back, train there for like an hour and a half, and do some extra stuff behind the scenes to help out. And maybe was doing that for like $45 an hour, which is like, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's not worth the time. It's not worth the effort. However, the goal was to help people. The goal was to make profit helping people. The goal was to make somebody smile today. The goal was much more than just, I want to make this much this hour and da. Well, you can have that. That's not a problem. But what I'm getting at is I knew there was more for me later on. But I had to be willing to just give myself, give my time, give my effort, give my energy first. Let me give first. And then similar advantage will come. And sure enough, it did. And it took a while, and it took trial and error, and it progressively came. But at some point, it progressively came. I'll say it progressively came like this. And then it just took a, okay, take faith in what you're doing. Take faith in your plan. If you need somebody to look at your plan just to make sure and get some assurance that you're doing it right, then do so. But take faith in that plan and that level of execution to where you know the bigger picture's coming. But for now, I need to just give first. It's bound to happen. So with every goal, with everything you have or you want to have, be willing to give first, right? So that's number 4. Number 5. Your brain is a receiving set. It can be attuned to gather and store information from the infinite intelligence of the universe to help transmute your desires into physical equivalent. That was a long one. Basically what that one is saying, this is by far probably the most powerful listed one on there, is saying how your brain is like a radio, okay? And you have these knobs on the radio, and once you click into the right channel, you bump in your head and everything you want will start coming to you. But the thing is, you got this channel too much to the right, that's girlfriend drama. You got this other one too far to the left, that's drugs. You got this other one that's way too far to the right, that's you sleeping all day and watching Netflix, these distractions. But once you find that right one, and to you, they're not that big. They won't seem that major because it's you, you're used to it. That's your day-to-day thing. But once you hit that right channel, you'll start to notice it's all coming to you. It's all coming to you. Let's read that again because that's a good one. Your brain is a receiving set, like a radio, and can be attuned to gather and store information. Okay? Your brain will find it and store it from the infinite intelligence of the universe. Everything you want in life is out. Everything you want out is out there. There's not anything that you want that isn't out there. So you can go and get it. It's just a matter of, okay, so from the infinite intelligence of the universe to help transmute your desires into their physical equivalent. Your desires are up here. What you want is up here, but you have to tune it in to get exactly what it is for the physical equivalent, right? Number 6, recognize that your greatest asset is time. This is money, pun intended with asset. Recognize that your greatest asset is time. Do not play about your time. You won't play about your money, so don't play about your time. So we'll sit here and assume that our greatest asset is money. All right, but let's say your time is up, okay? And you ain't got the money. What do you want more of? More time. Let's say you're playing a game and you're losing and there's 2 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What do you want? You want more time. Time is your greatest asset. Do not play about your time. What changed me from point A to point B of doing what I had to do and achieving a lot more was setting a schedule and being a man of my schedule. I don't do it too much now because I've built a pattern in my head, but when I really got serious about my pattern, shout out to my client George, and I recommend this to you guys too. I got the calendar app on my phone, and I would just get notification after notification after notification. You're bound to check your notifications. I know you're addicted to your phone. I am too. So when I would get it, I would hold it down. I know I would have a client in 30 minutes, but just the simple fact of me holding it down, seeing it and abiding to it, abiding to my schedule, abiding to my time, it set a lot more things in play for me to be able to, okay, I'm spending too much time here, too much time there. Let me give more time to this, more time to that. Boom, you propel forward. Your greatest asset is time. Stop playing about your time and do what you gotta do. Number 7, this is a good one. Fear is a filler that occupies the unused portion of your brain, right? So I said earlier, is your brain, there's little pockets of fear, right? So fear is a filler that occupies the unused portion of your brain. It is a state of mind that you can control. Practice eliminating the fear and replacing it with faith and your ability to make life provide whatever you demand of it. So this is similar to what I said before about the whole universe and you can tune into the right station, but this ties into the fear aspect now. So if this is your brain and you got pockets of fear, that's pockets of drifting. It may not be as much because your brain is like full of, okay, now you're on your shit. Now you're handling your business, but you got these small pockets, right? Start to eliminate these pockets. This is how you go from 95% of the world. Okay, these 95% of the people are above to the 2%, to the Kobe Bryants. He worked on those small pockets. There's no room, there's no exceptions, there's no ifs, ands, or buts because he worked on the small pockets. The biggest part is just having faith, having dream, having a goal, having a plan, then executing. After that, work on the small pockets, what's really holding me back. So that's number 7. Number 8, when you pray, do not beg, demand what you want, and insist on getting exactly that with no substitutes. I'm gonna read that one more time. This is one of my favorites. When you pray, do not beg, demand what you want, and insist on getting exactly that with no substitutes. All right, so if you go to church, this is my favorite one. So you go to church, there's times where they're praying, I will give you an example, right? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Bless us today. Give us your grace. Amen. Right? That's praying. You're not necessarily begging, but it's just praying. But then you get this. Good God Almighty, I rebuke you. You will not demonize my daughter. You will not, like, people go in and they demand, but all of a sudden it works because there's no room for buffer in that prayer. They mean it with their heart. They mean it with their soul. They mean it with their gut. So there's no need to sit here and when you pray, meditate, visualize, whatever you want to do, there's no need to sit here and just like, please, like, let me just get this new car and just please let me just get, there's no need for that. Man, put me in that whip, all black with the sunroof that go all the way back. Give it to me. You can do all of that. You can do all, who's to say you not? What, you gonna get in trouble for it? No. Have that compassion, have that genuine feel it and mean it and deliver with that it'll change everything. It'll change, I promise you, it'll change you. Like when you get done, you'll feel like I got it already. And that's exactly what you need to tune into the right station and get what you need to get. All right, so that's number 8. Number 9, recognize life is a cruel taskmaster. Either you master it or it masters you. There's no halfway or compromising point. No need to accept anything you do not want. If you refuse the things you do not want in life, you will make way for the things you do want. Powerful, powerful. The game of life and how to play it, I kind of compare that one to that book, because either you play life or life will play you, my friend. So I was talking to my boy D about this earlier. Here's the brain. Now, these pockets, you have pockets of fear, pockets of this, pockets of that, whatever. There are things that you feel like are so crucial for you to follow up on and pay attention to in life, when in reality, you can let something go tomorrow and no one will be affected by it. I mean, you can let things go today and nobody will be affected by it tomorrow. There are things that you do not have to worry about, but because you're in your own head, because you're not thinking and challenging yourself and your thoughts, because you're not solving problems in your head and taking time to slow down and evaluate, you think that this one thing holds so much weight. When sometimes there's some things that you just need to let go. And ironically, maybe it's not even ironically, the effect of you letting some things that's a distraction or will cause you to drift, you let that go, it'll be filled with space. It'll be open space, and you can feel things that you want in life with that. For example, let me give an example. So let's say you got a goal to climb Mount Everest, okay? And there's these pockets in your brain that's, I'm gonna be gone for 4 weeks. I'm gonna miss my mom. Guess what, bro? Drop that for a second. You can see your mom in 4 weeks. Get the fuck up the mountain. Like, there's these pockets that you have that'll just cause you to slowly pull you back a little bit. Get rid of those. You don't need that one. That was a bad example. Not your mom. Love your mom, I guess. How about this? Mount Everest and, but the new Barbie movie's about to drop. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna miss it. Fuck that, bro. Sacrifice that, my friend. Get rid of that one. It'll be on Amazon Prime anytime. My girl was trying to watch the Barbie movie yesterday. I was not with that. Apparently it's good though, so maybe. We'll see. That's 9. 10. This is a good one. Your dominating thoughts attract through a definite law of nature by the shortest and most convenient route. Their physical counterpart. Oh, let me reread that one. This is a good one. All right. Your dominating thoughts attract through a definite law of nature. Meaning, whatever you focus on the most throughout the day is what you will get by the definite law of nature. The law of nature is whatever you think of the most is exactly what you'll see in the real world. You want to think about poverty all day? Boom. You want to think about the gym all day? Boom. You want to think about your girl all day? Boom. You want to think about success all day? Boom. You want to think about winning all day? Boom. It doesn't matter. Whatever you think, your dominating thoughts attract through a definite law of nature by the shortest and most convenient route. Meaning, your brain is wired to find it as fast as it can. Your brain does not like to leave problems unsolved, right? So if there's a problem, and not by problem I don't mean an issue. By problem I mean your brain doesn't like to leave any equation unsolved, right? So if there's something in your brain that's talking about winning, it's going to find the quickest way to win. It's going to figure it out, and you'll have it. It's up to you to follow it or not. If your brain is thinking about poverty, it's going to find the quickest way to show you poverty. It's a powerful tool. It's a freaking machine. Use it to your advantage, right? By the shortest and most convenient route. Their physical counterpart, meaning it'll show you the positive and the negative. So say your goal, say your brain is, your dominant thought is winning, right? It'll show its counterpart. It'll show the opposite to the equation, the negatives, right? So say you do, I'm good at math, but not that good at math. Say you do 1 times -5. The answer is -5. But then the way life works, it'll show you 5 as well, just so you know it's there. Now, if you have the positive and the negative, you need to figure out which one you need to focus on. That was game. So I hope you got that one. I hope you got that. I hope you got that one. Your brain is going to show you the wins and the loss. It's a matter of what you consuming your brain with. And let's continue. So be careful what you dwell upon. That was the last sentence. So be careful what you dwell upon, because like I said, it'll show you the positive and the negative. It's up to you to decide which one you want to focus on. All right. And so after, that was 10. So after all 10, Napoleon Hill sat and asked the devil, okay, so out of all of these 10, what is the end all be all summed up of all of this? And this is exactly what he said. Be definite of what you do and never leave unfinished thoughts in your mind. Form the habit of reaching definite decisions on all subject. If you do that with the best intention for yourself, with the intention of your goal, with the intention of accomplishment, with the intention of achieving what you want, and every decision you have is based upon that, it's inevitable. It'll happen. The greatest asset is time. So with time, it will happen. You gotta be patient, but make every single decision that you come across. When you fail, base your next decision off the accomplishment. When you start to accomplish, base your next decision off your accomplishment. There'll be times where, I got this from the Game of Life on How to Play. I think I might have said it on the last episode. So, when Christopher Columbus discovered America, when he was getting close to land, he did not see land first and was like, oh, we made it. He saw sticks first. He saw birds first. He saw signs of land. There'll be times where, say your goal is to get a new car. I'll give myself an example. I had a Chrysler 200, 2016, nice car, wrecked it, done, beat up, cooked. I had a goal of a new car, right? And I got a new car, but it wasn't the car that I wanted for all these years. But the way my brain is wired and my brain is processed, the new car that I got is just the sticks and the birds. It's just a sign of me getting what I want. It's just a glimpse that will happen. So don't get so caught up in that either. When that happens and you get the glimpse of the true end all be all goal, base your next decision on the accomplishment, on the goal. That's all I got for y'all today. That's Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Enjoy this shopping, grocery shopping. We got the meal plan coming up. We're ending the cleanse. I can't wait to tell y'all how the cleanse went overall. But thank you for tuning in. Real Talk with Real Jordan. This episode is called Outwitting the Devil. Stay fighting. Let's win. Let's work. It's good, y'all. It's time. Cleanse is nearly over, so we grocery shopping today. Get ready for meal prepping. We're gonna meal prep for like the next 5-7-ish days. And yeah, so with the cleanse being over, this is a crucial time for you to have your diet on point. This is a crucial time for whatever you eat is gonna be magnificently delicious. I like those two words together, magnificently delicious. So it's important that after your cleanse, you just set the things in your favor to eat healthy. You'll enjoy the meals because you haven't eaten it so long, right? So going back to the basic gym bro diet with chicken and rice, beef and broccoli, fish, a lot of fish too, things of such. So gonna get this grocery shopping in. Along the way, I'll share with you why I get what I get. And let's get it rocking, man. Take two. I got the pineapple in my hand. Good for digesting proteins, but you just got to be cautious. It's a lot of sugar, but one of my favorite fruits for sure. Watermelons. Now I would get this. None of the funny black jokes, but I would get this. It's not even watermelon season. So sometimes you got to be curious and ask, like, how do they have so many very green watermelon this time of year? It could come from somewhere else, but then that means it sat there in a shipment. It could be lab made. That's why I might say seedless. Just ask these kind of questions. So I'm not going to get a watermelon. I would love to get a watermelon, but it's not that time of year. Next, we're going to get like berries, a few more fruits and vegetables, of course. And we'll show y'all those too. Antioxidants, of course. Organic blueberries. Got to find the good ones, though. Can't find the good ones.
They don't got the good ones. Say organic here, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta just say fuck it. It ain't gonna kill you. But you can see how like these are so much bigger, you know what I'm saying, than like regular blueberries. Cause they like, you be fucking around with them. Look at that one, it's nasty. Let's do this one. Not organic, but you won't die. You will not die. We will always, forever and always get baby spinach when we come. Shout out to Popeye, you know what I'm saying? Good. If for all the vegans, I know y'all haven't y'all spinach. That's like the only source of protein you can get. But then also for salads, I love getting the 50-50 spring mix. It's got like arugula, spinach, all that stuff. So you're not just eating like romaine lettuce. Romaine lettuce does not have like a lot of nutrients. Versus you get a salad with 50-50 spring mix and these other kinds of greens, you're getting something out of it like the salad, you know what I'm saying? So we'll throw these in a cart and we're gonna keep rocking. A cart filled up a lot more than before you saw it last time. So we did get more fruit, some raspberries, strawberries, things of such. Now what's crazy, I mean not what's crazy, but what's important is like after the cleanse, you still stick to having fruits, having vegetables, having juice. You don't gotta just completely knock it out because it's still super beneficial. So we got a lot more fruit, as you can see, a lot of greens, broccoli, asparagus, cilantro, little parsley, cabbage. This is for like a side dish. Cauliflower for like a side dish. Plenty of vegetables. We got some habanero peppers for flavor. Plenty of mushrooms. I'm a big mushroom fan. I like to just cook with them. Garlic. We love garlic. We cook garlic with almost everything. Super beneficial as well. Anti-inflammatory. Same with the onions and then potatoes for sides as well. Probably cook those on a pan, maybe even throw them in the stove. Big lemon fans over here. Throw them in tea. Continue to juice them. Put them on top of everything. We're going to keep shopping to show you what we get, man. All right, so now we got stew meat. I love a good stew with some potatoes, man. That's fire. I got 85-15 ground beef. Like I said, there's a lot of fat for ground beef, but it's kind of like balance. Like if you know you're exercising, if you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that much fat in meat is not going to be bad. You can always drain it and strain it as well. I would have done the 93.7, but it's not just me eating the ground beef. That would be pretty dry for others. So we're rocking with that. We're going to get some fish in a second and keep rocking. That's good. Thank you. That's that whole rainbow trout right there. She put me on to the whole fish with the bones and everything for some soup. It's going to be fire. It's going to be fire. Hey, what you gotta say? What you gotta say to the people? So this that Primal Kitchen salad dressing. That's dairy free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like it because it's dairy free. They got a ranch one that I usually get that's dairy free. So shout out to Primal Kitchen. They got like a ton of flavors too. I like it. Avocado oil, so you get your healthy fats in. But like I said, let me emphasize that one more time. It's dairy free. So me and dairy, that ain't a good party to have. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Primal Kitchen. So we got the hemp seed and flax seed, so you can go to the bathroom. You know, omega-3s in both. Really good for omega-3s and omega-6 for both. Really good for fiber as well. And then hemp seeds is like a natural source of protein as well. So these are like big for like smoothies and shakes and things like that. By far one of my two favorite like little adding things that you can put into a smoothie and things like that. And then we got some organic tomato ketchup, so I can throw on them eggs. You gotta let me know if you put ketchup on your eggs or not. Let me know. It's a done deal. That's a lot. That's a lot, but it's much less than like eating out day in and day out. It's much less than sacrificing your health and whatnot. So, hey, shout out to Whole Foods. Thank y'all for coming along, and I will catch y'all next week. Peace.